Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We are in our Fast and Furious series here on the podcast. This is where you're going to get fast frameworks to deliver a phenomenal result. These are the custom frameworks you'll hear nowhere else. They're just here so you can get a sample of what it's like to coach in my group program or one-on-one coaching. Phenomenal results taken from actual clients, actual physician moms, how to make their lives so much easier. It led to breakthrough every single time. So I'm going to teach you today how to have better call in 4 steps. Now, I'll let you know when you join Next Level Freedom, my program, we have a longer training, but we want to keep this light, simple, and fast for you right here. So you can get results here, no matter if you're in a program or not. Are you ready? So this is, by the way, designed for what I call trauma, PTSD around call. Many of us have it. The majority of us have it. Our human bodies were not designed to work for 30 days straight without sleep. Like we were not designed, but the healthcare systems we work for do have those expectations for us. And we're not designed to be at any moment a little tiny black box from 1980s or pagers. Who's wearing pagers these days? I know some hospitals are transitioning over to a different form of contacting physicians, but still, the idea of someone calls and no matter what you're doing, you have to answer it, of course, causes trauma. It can put you in distress. It can be very anxious. So sometimes when people aren't even on call the night before, they're not sleeping because they're in the anticipation of the call trauma. And we deal with this inside my program in Next Level Freedom, but I want to give you 4 steps today to have your call better, even if you're on call right now. This has been devised from working with women who were on call 7 days in a row, 2 weeks in a row, 30 days in a row. Whatever form and shape your call trauma is in, this will help you. This has helped women who will take call with ICU or take home call with pathology or in derm or renal, whatever subspecialty, wherever you are in the world. This is going to help you have a better call. Ready? Let's do it. Step one. I was helping a client who takes longer periods of call, anywhere from 2 weeks to 30 days at a time. And this call was, and we all know call can vary, right? We don't know. Call will vary depending on the complexity of patients that will come in, who's staffing the ER, the skill and confidence of our trainees. So there's lots of things that go into call. How our sleep is, well, all these factors will all determine like what that call experience is like. And so she was coming in concern with she was going to be on with an ER doc who had a low threshold to admit everyone to her service, with a trainee who was struggling and wasn't quite at expectations. And she was already super anxious. So, step one, the customized framework we developed for her, you can go ahead and take for you. Step one is to establish expectations and boundaries ahead of time. She was very anxious that the train she would be on with would send literally hundreds and hundreds of pages. And that she wouldn't get any sleep. And that where she knew this trainee was brilliant, she knew the trainee didn't see that in herself yet. And so the very first thing was to set with her expectations and boundaries with her, which means what it sounds like, for example, is I want you to call me if you need me. We are here together. We're on the same team. But I don't want you to call me every time you have a thought or a question. I want you to be practicing how to keep your patients safe, which means being involved in their care for this week that we're on together. So when you call me, before you call me, I want you to like run through this filter. Is this something I need my attending to help me sort through, or is this something that I could work through on my own? You have to sort through it on your own. And you, listener to the podcast, also, you'll develop this in your own particular scenario. And in our coaching program, we'll develop it together. But it was this expectation that, listen, trainee, you don't have to call me every time there's a question. You're a brilliant person. I trust you to exercise your judgment here. And also, if you do decide to call me, I need you to have the problem in one sentence, like very concise, and your proposed solution. is what I suggested to her. Because, it is easy. And I've been the trainee too. So this is not knocking it, but it is easy. If we just like call and have someone solve it for us, it's like our brain would prefer to do that. And so if we want to build, help create, guide, mentor, lead our trainees to be advocates for themselves and their families, it starts with helping them to think on their own. So it's not meaning they're going to run the hospital on their own. It's like when you call me, when you use your judgment that this is an attending level question, I need you to concisely identify the problem and present a concise solution. This is her building confidence in her trainee. It's her telling her trainee, I trust you and I want you to problem solve at this critical level so you can protect your patients, and the rest of your life as a doctor will be so much easier when you have the skill. So that's step one, expectations and boundaries. Set it at the very beginning. Empower your trainees to contact you when they feel it's important and to have a solution they can present it with, like to practice that. Now, of course, if the trainee does not have a solution, it's not like they have to go on an island on their own. Like, call me if there is a serious crisis, we'll figure it together. But in general, call like most of the time it's not life or death issues every 30 seconds. There is time for the trainee to think about how do I want to manage it. Doesn't mean you have to act on it, but present that. It's a practice of critical thinking that can help her build her confidence and belief and skills. It's invaluable. Step two, decide what you're available for and check in frequently. At the beginning of your call, when you and your trainee are figuring things out, you may be very available. You may like, I want you to call me. I want to figure out where your skill level is. I want to be decided. I want to be there for you as we work through this together. You may be very available. And then towards 30 days after you've been on with this training for 30 days and you've seen her manage a busy service, confidently and gracefully take care of her patients, catch errors before they even happen. As you've seen her skill set grow, you may decide that it doesn't need to be every hour check-ins, right? You can relax on that. Decide what you're available for and check in regularly with yourself, what you're available for. Where this can be handy is towards the end of that 30 days, it would be natural for any human to be very exhausted. And so we want to keep checking in with us what we need. With few exceptions, when people reach out for your help when you're on call, most of the time, there's a moment where you can decide, do I need to go to the bathroom? Do I need to take one deep breath? Do I do I need to get a sip of water before I call them back? You might get paged, 5 different people call you at once. You get to decide who gets the call first. We want to build into your call week the opportunity for consent, for you to decide when and where and what order and how soon and at what time. We want to build in consent for you to delegate versus take on your own. And it can be as small as, can I take 3 deep breaths? Am I available for 3 deep breaths? Or do I want to call them back right away? Decide ahead of time and let yourself check in with yourself. What does your body need? When you're in the habit of taking care of you and you get to show your brain, I decide when and where and how, your call experience will be radically different. Most people have call trauma because their thought is, I have no control over my schedule. At any moment, I have to jump and run and get on the highway and get to the hospital. I can't see my kids, right? All of that is going to make your call so painful and miserable, and you will suffer and it will just enhance the trauma. So, what we want to do, what we do Next Level Freedom, is how even on a page when you're on call, do you have an invitation for consent and to decide what you need? And I promise that small shift will give you a radically different concept. Step 3, focus on your safety. And of course, the safety of your patients and your trainees in your center. So what that involved for this particular client, what she was bringing in is, when I've been on with this trainee before, sometimes I'll get 100 pages in a day. No kidding, 100 pages in a day. She's skilled and she's brilliant, but she's lost her confidence along the way. And so what we talked about, okay, what would be safe for you, safe for training, safe for patients? What we came up with is, yes, we're going to set expectations. Yes, we're going to decide what we're available for, but we're also going to institute some safety measures that are going to free up our pager a little bit. So what that looked like for this particular attending trainee is she decided Every day at noon and at 4 o'clock, we're going to get on the phone call. We're going to get on the phone no matter what, and we're going to catch up on what's going on. How that played out is it was maybe a 5 minute call, but because the trainee wasn't worried, she had a time to check in twice a day. The trainee pages went from 100 a day to 3 or 4 a day. That's the value of thinking smarter when you're on call. Creating safety measures. That trainee was more relaxed because she's like, I know I see my attendee twice a day and I'm expected to bring any questions to her and plans. Cut down like almost 100% on those text messages and pages. Step 4 is focus on your comfort. I'll recap in a moment. So what causes a lot of call trauma is physicians go on call and they also want to count their calories and they want to exercise every day and they want to read their book and they want to go for walks and they want to schedule their doctor's appointment and they want to bathe regularly. Listen, I love all that. But the reality for this physician, it was stressing her the F out. Like the idea of doing this call for 15 days with a trainee who was going through a lot and also working out an hour on the Peloton a day, it was stressing her out, right? You can just feel the tension in it. So, Next Level Freedom, we are focused on your safety and comfort, which makes you an exceptional doctor, an even better mom. So, what that means is your comfort. It's going to mean we grant you permission to order takeout whenever you want, even if it's for pancakes for breakfast or Starbucks delivers coffees, as I have come to know, right? You can DoorDash it. No, you do not have to shower every day if you don't want to. You don't even have to brush your teeth every day if you don't want to. You really get to choose. Exercise is amazing if it feels good, but if it's stressing you out, drop the exercise, drop counting calories. Call is an exceptional drain on your physical, emotional well-being. We need to insert more safety and comfort cues. I promise you, when you are sleeping regularly, get back to fitness, count your calories then, but not when you're on a long call stretch. Not when you're on a call stretch. No, no, we do not do calories. We do not do restrictions when we're on a call stretch. So that is, if you need this particular physician, we planned on bringing a box of her 3 favorite candies: M&Ms, Sour Patch Kids, and red licorice. She's allowed to have those little pick-me-ups things, those little pick-me-ups. Those little pick-me-ups are the thing that help her get through a 30-day, helps her feel comforted. Yes, do it. And after call, when you're feeling comforted and safe and you know you're getting a good night's sleep and you feel like I'm ready to go work out, hey, we'll go out work out then, but not on call. Means being able to take naps, sleep when you can. So maybe you're not going to sleep 9 hours uninterrupted sleep when you're on call, but you are going to sleep. I promise you. What does that feel like in your body? I promise you, I'm getting sleep. Creates comfort and safety. So that sleep is going to may look different. You might have a nap at 8:30 in the morning. You may have a nap at 11 p.m. You are definitely going to get sleep. And the sleep will be so much better if your thought going into it is my body knows how to sleep. I'll sleep as much as I can when I can. I know how to take care of myself. It may involve, for this physician, she had her favorite drinks. So she loaded her office fridge in her office with orange juice and Kool-Aid and mineral water. Amazing, right? She brought in her favorite blanket and wore her favorite sweatshirt, or what is it, pullover, right? So it's about taking measures to be comfortable. So let me summarize. You can make your call better in 4 days, even if you're in the ICU, even if you take call 30 days at a time. It's 4 simple steps. Step 1, set expectations and boundaries with people who need them, which will also include yourself. The expectations and boundaries might sound like this for yourself. I am not calorie counting. I am not counting calories. I'm going to sleep whenever I want to and can. I'm going to watch trashy TV to my heart's content, right? Setting boundaries with a trainee might be, I believe and trust in you. I want you to call me whenever your judgment says so. And when you call me, I would like you to develop a plan when there is time to do so. I want you to practice critical skills making. Step 1 is setting expectations and boundaries. Step 2 is decide what you're available for and check in regularly. You get to decide who you call back at what time, when. I promise you, 99% of the time, you'll have a time to take one deep breath before you call or take a sip of your favorite drink. The more you can see how much you're in control and how much you influence a call, the better this call will be. Step 3, focus on your safety. This client did not love having 100 pages a day. So we instituted a check-in noon and 4. She's going to have a check-in. It cut down her pages from her training from 100 to 2 to 3 because the trainee knew she would have time to talk to her. They're attending twice a day. 4, comfort. This is the time where you take care of you. This is not the time for counting calories or exercise. Get your favorite drink, get your favorite foods, order takeout. All of it is so good. So let me just summarize it again. Step 1, set expectations and boundaries. Step 2, decide what you're available for. Step 3, safety. Focus on your safety, what keeps you safe. Step 4, focus on your comfort. This is the work we do inside of Next Level Freedom. It is building customized frameworks to make your job better now, to make your day job your dream job. We do this every single day. There's no other place where you'll get all this 360 support with your job, with your family. We make things better really, really fast. So we want you to be on the email list. Go to yourpathandfocus.com/email and enter your email address. You'll get our podcast. This is also available on YouTube if you want to see the video. Hello, video viewers. You'll get it delivered to your inbox every week. You never have to think about it. It will always be delivered straight to you. You'll also be the first to hear of our freebies and offers. Black Friday is coming, and friend, people wait for Black Friday all year long. When you're on the email list, you'll be the first to hear about it. You'll also be the first to hear when the doors to Next Level Freedom open. They generally only open once or twice a year. Get on the email list now so you can get your spot reserved. See you there.